everybody, it's Brandon with your weekend update. Oh, wait a minute. It's not the weekend update anymore.
No more, it's the Weekender.
We changed the name, changed the intro, so that you guys can get a better experience. If all we do is teach you real estate, we failed. And I believe that because here at Signature, we care more about just production. We want you to be successful. Episode 11, episode 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, episode 23, episode 24, 25, episode 27, 28, episode 30, episode 33, episode 34, 35, 36, 37, 39. Weekender is episode 40 and episode 41, episode 42, episode 43, 44, 45, episode 46, episode 47 of the Weekender. It's going to be like Groundhog Day. It's a show that's worth watching twice.
The water's rising just like a tidal wave. So go on.
Welcome to the Weekender. This is episode 50.
50.
Boom!
Boom, producer.
Right on. That's you'll get that a little bit later and understand why we did that. But yeah, we had a great week this week.
We have a great week every week.
That is true.
What are we going to do this week, Brain?
Right on. So this week we're going to bring on. Let's just bring him on.
Okay, let's bring him on.
Rondon. We're going to bring on Keith Lynam. He's going to join us on the Weekender, our special guest for the 50th episode. There he is.
Hey, Keith.
What up?
So I got to intro how special you really are because people just don't get that you're kind of a big deal. So Keith, currently you're the past president of the Nevada Realtors. You've been the president of GLVR. You know that's important. And you've also the current legislative vice chair of our state legislative committee. So thank you for all you do for realtors. We're happy to have you.
Thanks for having me. This is great. I love what you guys do. You guys bring in the A game, and that's always a good thing. And we always have a good time when we're together. So we got all that going for us.
Hey, we're meeting outside the Sterling Club. This is cool.
Yeah.
That's right. Exactly.
Do you know that every time I walk in there, I send him a text. I'm like, "Hey, if you're around, I'm here," and then he miraculously shows up immediately.
He was just out front.
Hey, anytime I can get a free drink out of Bishop, I'm there. As would anybody, right?
Odds are good. So Keith, one of the things we do on our show is we talk a little bit about some things we see out in the marketplace and stuff that's going on, and so I had a few things I wanted to bring up, and I know that you've seen this. Let's talk about agents and their email signatures. And I mean, I got an email the other day, and I asked a question to an agent, and they sent back "thank you," and a simple phrase "thank you" went on for 2 pages of accolades of things that they've done and titles that they've had and contact info and people on their team and logos and designations and everything. Do you see that too? Does that drive you crazy?
Yeah, and it's and then I love the disclaimer on if this email was not intended for you. They take you through a 73-step deal. That's going to do anything in a court of law that they didn't follow, and B, that anybody's actually going to do all that. Yeah, I don't get it. The designations and that confuses me too. It's why. I think when you have to do something in life and you have to ask why, you probably shouldn't have been doing it.
That's true.
I'm glad you shortened your email signature right before this call.
Exactly. Yeah, I just say take my deal or else I'll kill you. How's that?
So I know where you live.
So I think you probably would agree though, the wire fraud disclosure. I mean, those disclosures that go on there. I think that's a smart idea. If someone gets your email, I always tell my clients I'm not going to send you an email asking you for money or things like that. So I'm not poking fun at that, but I've had people go into different careers and different fields that they're in that have nothing to do with real estate. But I think that, what does it say to your client? What does it say to everybody else if you go on more about you than you do about the actual reason for the email? It's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, and I agree.
I just love when you get this big, long email chain and you can't find out where anything is because you're just looking at the signature.
Yeah, because then when you reply, then you got to go through all that stuff
again
because it's all everyone. Yeah.
Well, all right. So that's one of my pet peeves. Here's a question for you, though. This happens all the time, and you're a fellow realtor, and so all of us are on Facebook. We know it. That's where all the fun happens. And all the time we get requests from each other, hey, like my Facebook page. And so I really want to know, what should I do? Should I like their page because they're cool and I like them? Should I not because we're competitors and I want people on my page? I mean, what do you guys think? You guys know that whole arena better than I do.
Well, I'll tell you, I finally gave up and liked Boom Producers because he kept inviting me.
Well, he does point it out when you do it, though. That's important.
Yeah, I thanked you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and you wonder sometimes. I mean, obviously, out of market stuff, I always do, but I've kind of gone to the point where if I like you, and chances are, if we're on Facebook together, I probably do like you. I'll go ahead and like your page.
That's cool.
And support that way. I don't know what we get out of it. I don't know if it helps, hurts, but it depends on who it is too.
Sure.
I mean, you'll notice I probably have never liked anything Chris Bishop has put out there, but Brandon Roberts, I like everything. So that's
nice.
But yeah, I kind of
Like
I
this
don't know
guy.
if it helps or not. Yeah.
Well, you and I were talking, and you brought up the point that, if you have a Facebook group, like let's say you get 2,000 people or 3,000 people, and you start commenting on a topic or it's got a theme behind it, just because of the size of the group, it can cause you to get more people to go in and like the group.
Yeah.
So I guess if I could get 500 or 1,000 realtors to get on my page and enjoy it, I'd have to have things that realtors care about.
Yeah, so
right?
there's two differences. I guess there's your business page, which people like, and then there's private Facebook groups, which
Sure.
can be themed around whatever, the Raiders,
Private things.
hockey, private parts. Boom producers.
Boom producers. But the whole idea would be like, if realtors right now, lunch and learns have got to be big because there aren't any going on, and so I hope they're not out there starving. I mean, that was our main source of sustenance, why things were going on. But I think there's a lot of cool activity going on people's pages and stuff. So I guess I'll click like.
Yeah, but we joke a little bit about Boom Producers, but can you tell us what that is? What's the mission behind that?
It's not
Yeah,
boom producers.
It's
It's boom producers. That's right.
Yeah, you got to get the boom. There's actually a hand signal too. You got to boom. You got to do that all together. 1, 2, 3.
Boom.
There we go.
We got it.
Now tell us about it, seriously.
It started off, not started off. It is. It's a community that we began at the end of last year, and it was really just to kind of share what was working in the marketplace, what wasn't working in the marketplace. I'm a big believer in Larry Kendall and the Ninja Consulting and that group, and so I took it from just a kind of a community to I extrapolated out what I really liked about Larry's deal, and turned it into a community coaching program.
That's awesome.
It took off. I mean, we could not have picked a worse time to start it because it was literally right before everything shut down. But we had a really great reaction to it. And now what we've found is that it's really turned into this social interaction that people are lacking.
Sure.
We did a couple of videos yesterday with people that have turned it into that we need that stuff to interact, and we don't need to come in the office, right? We've all heard that, but what we really do need is this, and the Zoom gets it, but not quite all the way, and so you still need that personal stuff to get together.
So Keith, when I think about that, you've had a passion for your entire real estate career for training and education, and you're a member of GLVR's faculty. So did you take a lot of that, and that's what you added into it along with the ninja selling stuff?
Yeah, and it was a lot of it was just talking to people across the country, and like you do, Chris. I mean, it was like, here's what's going on. What's successful. What. And I always said, look, if you've got a listing consultation in the afternoon, you know what to do.
Sure.
You have to be competent in order to do that. If you have a showing that you're going to take some buyers around, you have to be competent. You have to know how to do all that. But what I found, what most agents though are not good at, is what happens when they don't have that.
Sure.
What happens if they don't have that duty, and how do they work? And frankly, that's why Zillow, that's why Realtor.com, that's why all of those lead gen places took off like they did, is because nobody knew how to generate their income anymore. And so that was a lot of it, is we're just teaching them how to have conversations with people.
I think that you've been a big proponent, we've talked many times about it, about how do we raise the bar of professionalism. I think groups like that are teaching agents how to be better is the way to do it. And Haiti Kasama's famous for using the phrase, a high tide raises all boats. And so when each of us commits to be better and to make our agents better and to make anyone better in our business, I think that we would all agree as brokers that that's the best thing that could happen. And so thank you for stepping up and making it huge. And we give you crap about the boom, but it's really cool what you've been able to accomplish, and we'll continue to follow and see all the great things from it.
Yeah, it's
And right back at you guys. I know you guys are all about that too, and I've always been impressed with what you guys have done over there. And you got a great shop, and I love serving with both of you on the board. And you guys are great. You guys are great company.
Well, we've enjoyed being on the board with you and even your friendship, but it's been neat to see you, some of the stuff you've talked about in the boardroom about raising the professionalism. It's neat to see you go out and create that. So we're pulling for you.
And talk about shops. You just opened a new one, it sounds like. You've got a new location downtown. Beautiful location, beautiful place. It's got a huge yard out front. I know the Water Conservation Authority has called and wants to know, how you're going to maintain that beautiful lawn. But, tell us about downtown. Why there?
I've always loved downtown. My first office back in 1992 was downtown. It was a different place back then, but I just love the energy down there. Yeah. I love the vibe. Our office is funny. We went in there and looked. The landlord was so proud that she replaced the carpet, and she said, "Look at this beautiful carpet." And I said, "Yeah, you took out the 1970 green carpet and put in 1970 new green carpet. It's the same carpet, but it's new. I love it, right?" And so it screams 70s, but it's just a cool vibe, and I think it's just good for everybody to come in and check it out. Come see us. We'd love to see you down there.
Absolutely. As long as I don't have to do any yard work.
Yeah,
you got someone to mow that, right?
Yeah, we got. There's about 5 or 6 homeless guys that come by every day, and they each have their own little section, so they take care of it and they go. And actually, that part of it, because you hear about that a lot, but I got to tell you, that's been just respectful both ways. We had one guy that was sitting on the front porch when we walked up, and they said, "Hey, we're moving in." And he immediately got out of there. He swept up the place, and so hey, it is what it is. You feel bad about it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't know you were moving inside. He thought you were moving onto the porch.
Yeah, exactly. There's a little turf battle there on the porch. Yeah.
No, I love it out there as well. Downtown's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a great vibe. Great vibe.
So Keith, let's talk a little bit about LVR, and you've been pretty vocal lately on Facebook and transparency factor, and you've always been that the person in our group that strives for the member, and I know I've been watching, following, and tell us your passion behind that. Why?
Yeah, and I at times catch heat. It's like and hopefully they hear me out when I say this. That I don't do what's best for the member. I do what's best for the consumer. Sure. I do what's best for the homeowner. And by that is the member then is better off. But sometimes that gets lost in the shuffle. And so I get there's always two sides of the story. I always tell everybody when they come to me and say, "Hey, I got an ethics violation," I say, "Well, is it an ethics violation or is it just something that you don't like?" Mm-hmm. And most times it's just something they don't like. And so you got to hear the other side of the story. And certainly there's two sides to everything that the board was doing too. But my point in all that was, look, debate things in the openness of the light. Talk about it, vote on it, and if you don't have the strength of your convictions, you probably aren't right for the board anyway.
Sure.
And to their credit, they did, and maybe begrudgingly sometimes, but they did. To their credit, at the end of the day, they did what I think is the right thing. And now we got to get to the elections and make sure that the right people get elected. And I can't even say who the right people are yet because I don't know who's running all.
Sure.
We can't say yet.
When they're announced, we'll have you back on so you can tell everyone who the right people are.
Absolutely. I got a list.
You got a list.
Well, you know the value of being a past president now, because what do good past presidents do? They get off the board and point out everything a board does wrong. And so I think that you did a right step of pointing out things that you saw after your tenure that benefit everybody. So good on you for doing that as well. And I tell you what, I wake up every day looking for a Keith Lynam Facebook post just so I can see what kind of stirring of the pot will happen today. So that's always good stuff.
I'm still looking for my Keith Lynam seat cushion.
Yeah.
I misplaced that thing.
They're out there. They're out there
still. So
every now and again, I'll get one. Somebody will text me a picture of that. So yeah.
That was the best roast ever.
It was.
I've only got Tina Africk's left. Tina Africk sent me hers. She autographed hers. And she sent me that. So Tina, thank you.
Well, Keith, without it being said, thank you for all you do for the industry. Thank you for being here with us, and congratulations on your new office and your new space. And hopefully you'll join us again a few episodes down the road. And we appreciate you and your time and dedication to our industry.
Absolutely, you guys, and I meant it. You guys are great. You guys both do. You got a great company. And every time I see a signature agent, I know that that they've been brought up well, and I know that they've heard at least once in their life a Janet Carpenter conversation that started, well.
She's watching.
She's watching.
Love you guys. You guys are great.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care, Keith. Thanks a lot, man. That was awesome to have Keith on.
It was really cool,
Yeah.
I think the whole point of this show is not to just talk about the company or us or what we think, but to really get perspective. And we've met a lot of great people that we've met through it. So Keith is a great example of that. So thanks again to him, and thanks to you, Brandon.
Thanks
for
to you,
putting
Chris.
this show together.
We're proud parents of all the signature agents that Keith runs into. So we brought him up well, he says. But
Yep.
no, it's good. Well, I'm happy to be able to make it through 50 of these episodes. Look forward to the next 50 and who the guests we are going to have coming on next. So,
Be cool.
all right, guys, take care, and we'll see you next week.
I feel the change coming, it's closer every day. I feel the waters rising.